welcome to Crank It Up. I'm Jim Price, and today I want to announce the start of Custom Faction Month 2, Back to Basics. I really enjoyed the first Custom Faction Month that we did a few years ago, as I got to meet many members of the community, some of which have gone on to have a major impact on the channel and community. Others have watched those videos and grown up with them, and this event is not only fun, but a great service to the past, present, and future Smash Up community. Through some negotiation and admittedly sketchy backchanneling from our Day of Smashing commentators, we reached our adjusted stretch goal to unlock the event, so here we are doing it. For those who don't know, Custom Faction Month is a chance to have your ideas published on the channel. This will not get your ideas published into the game, because what publisher would be crazy enough to actually do that, so it is just for fun. But it does have a lasting impact, as it gets you recognition for your ideas, and besides, it's really fun. In addition, depending on time, we may actually do games on some, but not all of the factions, and that would be really cool to see. How do you enter? You need to email me your custom faction by 11 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, October 22nd. That gives you 2 weeks to come up with and playtest your design. I will then review the designs and announce the winners during the Smash Up 10th Anniversary Party on Saturday, October 29th. The videos will air either in mid-November or December, depending on how many I take, which is dependent on time. I also have one custom faction from one of my team members that has been on the schedule for months, and I'm just stating that up front lest anyone accuse me of shenanigans, so that video might air before, during, or after the event. Because my life circumstances have changed significantly since the last event, I am putting more of an onus on the submitters than the first time, but there are plenty of resources to help. So I need submissions to follow this process exactly, and there is a summary of this in the description of the video with examples. First, you need to send an email to crankituppodcast@gmail.com with a subject of CFM, a space, a hyphen, another space, and then the name of your faction. In the body of your email, include your name, country, and your favorite type of pie. You also need to include a zip folder that contains a Word document with a list of your cards, as well as the cards themselves. This is a difference from last time, as I do not have time to make cards for every winner, and there are many more resources around than there were the first time. There is an entire Discord of people who can help you get started with art and card templates, and you will learn really valuable skills in the process. The cards must be 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches at a resolution of 300 dpi, which would make them 750 by 1050 pixels. Again, don't let this be a barrier, as there are team members who can help you, and if this is something you want to do, you are going to need those skills eventually, so why not do everything correctly the first time? You have to include both the individual cards, as well as a 5x4 array, which takes like 5 minutes if you have the individual cards. For the array, put the minions on top and the actions on the bottom, and I've included a sample folder so you can see what I'm expecting. For the Word document, include the faction name, a high-level description of what it does, as well as the text of the cards. Do not include your name, as I will be testing out this method of anonymous submission for something more official in the future. So what are the rules for the actual mechanics? This is a combination of hard and soft rules. If you have a new mechanic that would require an entry in the rulebook, that's a hard no. It would require more time, more explanation, and ultimately more work, and be harder for the audience to follow along. Examples would be burying or dueling when they first came out, or Lonan's riding. Sorry, Lonan. If the card itself explains what it does, like Siren or Pin, that's okay. Titans are okay, but do so at your own risk. Some prospective players have asked about negative power counters, and I'm allowing that, but once again, do so at your own risk, as I think it faces an extreme uphill battle to get into the game at this point, because it would just facilitate destruction and increasing the game length. I have a soft theme of back to basics, because I think there is a lot of simple concepts that still haven't been explored, and sometimes true creativity is innovating within the space we have, rather than adding one-offs for the sake of being different. A recent example would be Mounties. They don't do anything new or groundbreaking, but what they do in an impactful and fun way. Or you can do what Ludicrousness suggested and combine two factions for a singular faction that recreates that feeling of the combo. I would just personally prefer to see more entries that moved away from unique minion spreads and focused more on the slotting system. If you want to adjust power, that's fine, but it should feel appropriate. Bases and dividers aren't necessary, as I probably won't even feature the bases because I have very strong feelings on base design that no one wants to hear. If you haven't already, I highly recommend you check out the Custom Faction Designer panel for advice on getting started, but I also wanted to throw out a free tip of my own, and that is the idea of blank card design, or BCD. Often you may find yourself with 1 to 2 cards that you don't know what to do with, or maybe an idea for a card just isn't working, and you try to think about what they need. Don't. Make them blank cards and play with the faction. If you don't draw it, you get to see how the faction is working without the current idea. If you do draw it, you can react to the game state as it is actually happening, and answer the question, what does this faction need right now? There's your ability. It removes the bias of trying to be prescriptive and lets you react in an informed way. BCD has been extremely invaluable for me, and if you do it correctly, you can circumvent a lot of wasted time and effort, and some of my favorite cards have been developed this way. By putting the focus on individual cards, it also helps ensure that no card is left behind. If there are any questions, you can email me or ask in the custom channel of the Smashup Discord. I look forward to meeting and working with as many of you as possible, and good luck to everyone. And of course, make puns at your own risk. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's shut it down.